Hey guys, TFB Gamers Mighty Clegg here.
And Saint Way 1.
And listen, this is a weekly waffle, one we haven't done for a while actually, is that right, Saint?
Yeah, I don't think we can really consider it a weekly waffle anymore, the amount of times we waffle about shite in our normal videos.
Okay, this is a waffle where we've actually finally sat down in a room with a microphone, with a cat, and just decided we're going to talk crap to you.
Yeah, and if you hear the words /you bastard, you'll know very much why.
Yeah, TFB Gamers cat mascot / if you have flesh, I will rend it from your bones.
And I will eat the bottom of your soles of your feet.
Fair enough. Right, Saint, what games have you been playing this week, mate?
I've mostly been playing... let me think about it. I've been playing a lot of Guns of Icarus Online again, actually.
Is that it? You've not been playing anything else?
I honestly haven't had time this week, unfortunately, but Guns of Icarus Online took up a good 3 hours on Saturday and a good couple of hours during the week.
Yeah, I noticed you're live streaming a lot with Totally Insane Gamer now and Cerebro.
Yeah, been doing that a hell of a lot, to be honest, because it's a lot more fun doing it with more people and a lot more interesting.
Well, it is, I agree.
It's quite interesting trying to do a commentary with a cat trying to claw the side of your head off.
It's even more fun, tell you. You want to see it. When you guys laugh at me over the stream, I'm not lying. He does this all the time, and he's even worse. But, right, so anything you need to be looking at nowadays? Any new games you're looking at? Or is it, oh, excuse me, or is it just a case of you're still playing Guns of Icarus Online, Chivalry, and the usual
indie titles?
Indie titles, yes.
Yeah, I'm playing now, and I'm also looking at another one, but I can't precisely remember what the heck it's called now, because I haven't had a chance to play it yet. I picked it up on Steam, it was only out a couple of days ago.
Wasn't the Walk of Mars, was it? The Mars Walking?
Waking Mars,
Waking Mars, that's the one, yeah. Well, I highly recommend Hawken. I mean, I was looking at that the other day, and it's like MechWarrior Online, I can tell you that now. Oh, I've got a bad throat,
Goes the voice, yeah.
Yeah, it's like MechWarrior Online. Now, I can't say anything about MechWarrior Online, but MechWarrior Online is good.
Yeah.
Be jealous, I'm in the beta.
Yeah, strangely enough, that's one I haven't been invited to.
Yes, well, you're obviously not as good as me, and probably your PC probably didn't match the specs, to be perfectly fair. It is quite picky on specs.
Yeah, but to be perfectly honest, I've seen Hawken before in the actual E3 setup they did. I saw the video for that, and it looked pretty damn good, to be perfectly honest.
Oh well. If anybody out there's been watching the news, has anybody seen about SEGA? I take it you have. I know you. In fact, I know you have. You gave me a shout the other day, laughing your head off that TB nearly got his channel shut down.
Well, I wasn't laughing at TV. I was laughing at the stupidity of SEGA in the first place, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, but did you actually figure it out? Because from what I've been researching online, it is the fact that the Shining Force. I mean, they've been pulling the Sega Saturn RPG Shining Force 3, so the graphics and the gameplay doesn't get confused with the new one that's been released on the PSP. But let's be perfectly honest.
That's a load of rubbish.
It honestly sounds like this new instalment, Shining Arc, may be a throwback to Shining Force 3, perhaps, or it may be a redone, revamped, repolished version.
Yeah, let me think. Sega, you're being a bit stupid here. Let's be honest. You're taking away basically free advertising for yourself. It's like saying, oh look, I've got 2 feet, I'll shoot myself in that one.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, I know they've been trying to pull other content as well, from what I've been told.
Yeah, they've seemingly just gone on that almighty swinging of the ban hammer, to be perfectly honest. You've got Sega content, no, smack goes the hammer.
Well, so mind you saying that, it is their stuff, although I know a lot of people are trying to fight it with this fair use policy, but fair use policy means nothing in Japan, because in Japan, if you have the patent, it's yours.
Yeah, that's very true, but they're doing it to people in America, and unfortunately for them, you've got to go by the regional laws at that point. And the American regional laws state you can use it for that.
Yeah,
and because it's freedom of speech in America.
That means nothing, mate. I mean, people who put the fair use policy, it means nothing. People, get a grip. Putting a little bit of legal burble that says it's fair use doesn't mean anything. The only time you can have fair use is if you have an organisation that has paid to have fair use. I mean, we've got it on our videos and DVDs over here. It tells us you can use it, but you can't broadcast it to anyone.
Nope.
You can't use it for schools or anything. But you can use it as a fair use. The fair use means you can use it for yourself, and a couple of mates will come round to your house, and that's what it means by fair use. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm all for fair use. Put your stuff online. I like watching free stuff, but it's all right. Yeah, perhaps it's Sega being awkward, but it's
Yeah, over here, that's how it works. But over in America, obviously, they do things a bit differently, and it's one of those things, oh, you're censoring us, corporate censorship, or whatever the hell.
I'll just say 2 words: Sopper, Pippa. We all know this is what they were trying to do originally, but this is just a Japanese version of it. Let's be perfectly honest. I think that Sega will win their cases because at the end of the day, it is Sega content, it is Sega stuff. Yes, you may own a copy of the game. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. And I'm not saying that all people are like this, but a majority of people like this usually have emulated versions. They don't actually own the copy of the game.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're doing that because the game is no longer available anymore, I think that's okay. But if you can still buy a copy of the game, no, you shouldn't be doing that in the first place.
Well, let's be honest, dude. If you look hard enough, I mean, for the Brits over here, it's car boot sales, rummy sales, junk shops, and I think America have flea markets and what have you. I mean, you could find Sega games there anyway.
Well, yeah, but if they wanted to stop it in the first place, why wouldn't they just release a digital version of it and say, look, here's a proper digital version of it, a new one. Buy it from us for a reasonable price. But no, they won't do that.
That's it, exactly. Mind you, say that Sega's been doing a lot of weird things. Look at the the wonderful touchscreen technology that they've patented and never released. And they're trying to sue somebody. I mean, they did this, if anybody does know or doesn't know, I'm going to tell you anyway, they allege that Level 5 Inazuma 11, which is a long-running series of soccer RPG hybrids, which have spawned popular anime and manga series in Japan and Europe, specifically, they say that how you use your fingers or stylus on the DS to play the game, to play the characters in the game, is wrong. You can't do it. That's just like saying you can't scratch your leg because I patented it first. No, you can't talk because I make the
I'm
laws.
talking now.
No, I own the rights to talking in this house. You now owe me $11 million. I mean, $11 million. I mean, that's 900 million yen.
Are you insane? Sega, you will not win this. Come on. It's touchscreen technology. Oh, look, I have a touchscreen. What am I not expected to do? Oh, look, put my finger on it.
Yes, I have a finger. We own that. What? I want to pick my nose out. That'll cost you 50 quid.
Yeah. You've used our touchscrry. You've used your finger anywhere else. Oh, you owe us money.
Well, no, that's just it's not the touchscreen I'm talking about. It is literally using your finger on the touchscreen. Exactly. That's like saying I've patented the nose. If you want to pick your nose, you pay me $10 or £5 or whatever. In fact, everybody out there, I now own the nose, so if you pick your nose, please send $1 to TFB Mighty Clegg, or £1, or one of any local currency that you have to hand.
I now own the property of walking. If you take one step from now on, you've got to send me £1 or $1 or whatever the local conversion is.
There we go, you see.
How do they expect to get away with this? I'm sorry, you've got a touchscreen, you're going to touch it.
Well, let's be honest, yes you are. Any good games, well, we'll step away from that. Any good games coming up that you really fancy playing? Or are you just waiting now for any A-list titles or anything? I know I'm waiting for Gears of War Judgment, which I've got to pre-order, by the way.
Yeah, that's a couple of months away, isn't it?
Yeah, but Game is doing a pre-order, some of their nice stuff there they've got in their backgrounds.
I'm not promoting Game whatsoever, I'm sorry.
No, we're not promoting Game, but I like I like what they're offering this time around. But
Fair enough.
Then again, I am a great big dirty gamer by-hole, so...
Yes, you are. And, yeah, the one I'm most waiting for, I think, of the titles getting ready to be released next year is, and it should be in the first quarter so far, is the new Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, you see, I've gone off Grand Theft Auto. Don't get me wrong, I thought Vice City was great. But that was the only one I actually found that was any good, to be perfectly honest, after that. Everything else after that sort of lost its touch, as it were.
Yeah, I actually quite liked the last one they released, but I still think, like you said, Vice City was the best one. I thought it had the best soundtrack out of any Grand Theft Auto I think I've ever played.
Yeah. Well, it was set in the 80s and...
The storyline was ridiculous.
See, I didn't play Grand Theft Auto Vice City for the storyline. I played it because... One, you can get in the car, do stupid inane jumps, and listen to the talk show. The talk shows were the one that made me laugh the most. Alright, yeah, there was a lovely soundtrack to it, and I'm not saying, I'm a rocker fan, so it was great, but I thought that was the more well-rounded, even though later installments were better games in that respect.
Yeah, but they took a lot of stuff out of the game, which they put into Vice City. It's like, hang on a sec, the ability to buy a decent amount of property all around town and do proper missions with it. Oh, wait. What happened to that in San Andreas?
Yes.
Oh, wait, you could buy things and then do nothing with it.
Well, that was it, unfortunately. I mean, San Andreas was a bigger game.
It was, and it was like, hang on a sec, they've taken some of the stuff out which made it a lot of fun. I like buying property all over the place and using it for whatever.
Well, that was it. It wasn't just that. I mean, I think it's lazy coding as well. If they haven't got the property and then they don't have to do the missions and stuff like that, do they?
Exactly. It was just a bit of easiness for them just to get rid of it and say, oh, look, no one's going to really care about this. And unfortunately for them, people did.
Yeah,
because it was something new and interesting to put in there.
Well, fair enough. Right, just to let you know, guys, as you know, we stream now. As you may have seen one of the 2-hour videos we got up, Guns of Icarus, where we just sit literally playing Guns of Icarus.
Like 2.5-hour video up on our actual YouTube channel.
Definitely. So Saint Wayne now has brought himself a new HD PVR. He's got the HD PVR 2 with
gaming edition.
Gaming edition, so with HDMI technology, which is really quite cool, to be perfectly fair.
Thank God for being sensible enough to put it in there this time. Why didn't you do that on the original?
I don't know, but you managed to foist your component cables off onto me, so we'll probably see some more streaming coming from my side, which is about time, I suppose you'd say on that.
Do you know what the stupidest thing is?
Go on, mate.
It doesn't use HDMI for the PS3 because PS3 coding means it's all copyrighted coding, which means you can't send it through HDMI. It's got to be component cables. Like, why?
It's just the way it goes, I'm afraid.
Sony.
Hey, I don't knock Sony. I mean, let's be honest.
I do knock Sony a lot.
No, you can't knock. Well, you can knock Sony, I suppose. But let's be honest.
Look at this debacle over the hacking situation.
Oh, well, we'll say no more about that. Let's be fair. I mean, they do weird and wonderful smuggling things,
stupid things at times.
Yeah, it's Sony, you know. We do what we want because we is Sony. Let's be honest. I mean, with the PlayStation buried everything that was up there when it first released.
The original PlayStation did, yeah. I agree with you on that one. It wasn't my favourite console, but
it buried everything. I mean, up until that point now, seeing as you are just a wee nipper of 28, you wee youngster, you. I mean, up until that point, I mean, the next gen consoles at that time were the Amiga 32. The Sega CD. No, Sega CD. And then you had the Saturn, you got to remember, the Mega Drive was still going strong because you had the Sega Mega CD add-on with the Mega 32X add-on, which is basically Sega saying that we're not going to release next gen, we're just going to add bits onto the one we've already got.
It's like, oh look, here's our dead horse, let's flog it some more.
Yeah, but that's just it. If they'd released the 32X out before the next gen consoles, the Jaguar as well, they'd have made a fortune because...
Atari Jaguar?
Yeah, Atari Jaguar. That was a fantastic console, actually.
And I'm sure... Until you saw the pad.
Well, yeah, but that's just it. If you look at the Atari Jaguar pad, then you look at the old original Xbox pads, there's no actual difference in size. There isn't. No, there isn't.
No, it just had 500 million different buttons on it.
The only difference between the Jaguar pad and the Xbox original pad was the Jaguar pad wasn't curved at the bottom, and that's it.
Yeah, and it had 500 million buttons in the middle. It had like a little keypad, and I was like, why would I have this?
But that's just it. That's the only difference. I mean, Xbox must have looked at Atari and gone, "We like your pad. We're just going to get rid of some of the buttons.
We're just going to clear up some of this clutter, which everyone hated because I don't know, you haven't got 500 million fingers."
Nobody hated the clutter in the Jaguar. It just didn't have fantastic. Well, it had fantastic games. It just didn't have a lot of fantastic games. You got to remember. I mean, consoles at that point were just exploding forward and forward and forward. I say when the PS hit, that was it. They buried their competition and fucked Sega up, which I thought was wonderful, by the way, because they were basically the death knell of Sega.
Oh, pretty much. When they released the Dreamcast, which was after the PS1, wasn't it? Near the PS2 generation.
Yeah, that was it. The Dreamcast was great, though. I mean,
that was my favourite console of that generation.
Look at Knights. That was an excellent game.
It was better than the PS2, but the thing is, though, everyone just went, Sega, guess what? You said, screw you, basically, to us, guess what? Bye.
Yeah, well, originally Sega weren't going to go into CD technology. Then they released the Mega CD, which had some good games, but they were very much on rails, some of them.
Very.
But, I remember Thunderhawk always being the game I liked the most. But, and then you had, and then they carried on, and then I think Nintendo started putting more into their handheld stuff at that point.
But then Nintendo released a kart system, Nintendo 64, and it was like, hang on a sec.
Yeah,
You're using card technology when people are using discs now. Not a good idea, but it was a good console.
Well, that's just it. The N64 was a good console.
That was weird, though.
Yeah. Well,
One stick in the middle.
Cartridge technology was still in the position of keeping them going, and it would have kept going, but like I say, they were moving towards disc-based systems. I mean,
hell of a lot cheaper for them.
Well, definitely. Well, you'd have thought so. I mean, look at it now. We're still paying £60 for the fucking game.
Yeah, I know. And the discs, what? Well, Blu-ray discs are a bit more expensive, but even so.
Yeah, the discs, I remember, I remember this quite clearly. Yes, we've gone away from cartridge-based technology because discs are cheaper to produce, and we will give you savings to you, the consumer, because the games will be cheaper. Everybody went, yay! And then Sony went, yes, here's new games. Look, we're selling to you £30. That's half the price of a cartridge. Yay! And then all of a sudden it's £40, £50, fuck you, £60. And let's be perfectly honest. That's if you look at the gaming trends, people go, yeah, all games are looking cheaper. No, they're not. They're actually the same price now as they were with cartridges. It's just they've slowly increased the prices. I mean,
it's actually still, if you include inflation, it's the same price. It hasn't changed.
Well, that's it. It hasn't changed.
It's gone cheaper for them because you can get basically a CD for like 20p on the amount they pay.
Yeah, well, that's
the amount they order is like 20p a disc.
Gears of War 1, I think they were recycling it from bin lids. It's perfectly fair.
Yeah, that thing broke and you look at it funny.
Yeah, I remember that. I have Gears of 1. Yay! And what happens? I have picked up Gears of War 1. Yay! I put it in my machine. No, it's fucked.
You played it 3 times and you put it in for the 4th time to play it? Huh?
Yeah, I remember that quite clearly because I had to leave my Gears of 1 disc in there all the time. And the one, I remember this quite clearly because the one time I took it out and put it back in.
It never worked again.
Well, no, I took it out. I moved the Xbox and then I put it back in because, everybody knows you don't carry discs inside Xboxes.
Not unless you want it to be eaten by the Xbox.
I put the Xbox down, I put the disc in, I went, right, time to kill RAM. And then all I heard was, what the fuck? Open the disc, pull the disc out, there's a coffee ring, a big ring on the inside. Well, that looked nice on me wall, but that's about all it will do. Like, it couldn't get the thing to buff the bottom of the top of it because normally when you try and glue scratches out, it takes off the top layer because the dated layer is underneath a couple of protective layers. You do that once, and you get at the label and so there wasn't much in there, was there? To be fair.
And the funniest thing is they actually admitted it was a problem as well. It's like, oh, oops, has this happened to your disc? Please apply to us. We'll just send you a new one.
I know. Well, actually, saying that, speaking of Gears of War 1, I picked up very cheaply, actually. It only cost me... What game did it cost me? It cost me one of my old crappy games I don't play anymore. And I got a tinned version of Gears of War 1, which I thought was quite cool, to be fair. But, I've gone completely off topic now, haven't we, to be fair? What were we talking about?
Originally, Sega.
Oh, God, no. New games coming out, wasn't it? I think we were looking at... How we got from there to Gears of War 1. Going back. Yeah, PlayStation killed Sega. Sony killed Sega in that respect. And then Sega did what they should have done to begin with. They concentrated on games, and they come out with some good games.
And they've also come out with some absolutely...
piles
of tripe comes to mind.
Yeah, but you've got to remember, in all the piles of shit, some diamonds remain.
Yeah. The one that I've actually removed the video for getting onto this actually
the Yakuza.
No.
Binary Domain.
Binary Domain, because I'm actually not putting up any Sega videos until all this debacle's over, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I don't have a say in the matter, apparently. I am just a mouthpiece. You sit there and talk, talky boy. I video edit.
Yes, talky man.
Yes, that's the one, talky man indeed.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's talky man here for TFB Gamers. Ah!
But it means you will not be seeing any Sega content of us until Sega decide to actually be at least sensible about some of this, because I don't know why they're doing it in the first place, because more than anything, it's free advertising with them. Nigh on every other company are like, yeah, go ahead now, because they want the free advertising. Sega, no, you shall not touch our stuff.
Well, this, like I said, this puts me in mind of the late 90s, or early 90s, mid 90s sort of time, where everybody was going, right, we think cart-based technology is dead, we shall push CD-based systems. Sony's got a good one, we shall go against them. And Sega went, nah, have Sonic and Knuckles free. It's a plug-through cart technology. Yes, that's where it's going because we said so, because we are SEGA. But they've got a big CD system. Look at what they're playing. They're playing Busby. It's great. Where? No, it's have a big piece of plastic and stick it in your machine. Do as we say, because we are SEGA.
Yes.
And everybody went, well, SEGA, fuck you. And off it went, like, so.
But then again, that also reminds me of another crazy idea, and it was Microsoft that did this one. HD DVD.
Yeah. HD DVD. That always made me chuckle as well. I mean, obviously we're getting onto products that companies really shouldn't have done.
And now, laughing at them, to be perfectly honest.
You know the reason why they've pushed HD DVD, because HD DVD was going forward. Unfortunately, we all saw it coming. Blu-ray has a better storage, and it would have killed it, and it has killed it. I mean, HD DVDs are pretty much died out, really.
Well, they have all died out. You might find one gathering dust in the middle of a corner of a shop somewhere.
And I know I've got a copy of The Last Samurai gathering dust over there with HD DVD.
Yeah. I mean, now, when it came out as well, the actual player for the 360, which was separate, by the way, 160 quid. Like,
oh,
what?
yeah, I remember you buying that. You had a face on you like a smacked pony when you found out the HD DVD had died.
About 6 weeks later, you could pick it up for about
10
40 quid.
Yeah. I remember that quite clearly because you were not impressed.
No, I felt like running up to Microsoft and beating them over their head with their own HD DVD player.
Oi, Microsoft, cop this, you twat. Boomf.
Oi, Bill Gates. Clunk.
Yeah, but that's just it. People are going to blame Bill Gates, but it's not Bill Gates.
No, I know, it's not anymore.
Well, let's
Still would have been fun.
Yeah, well, it would have been a lot of fun, but let's be fair. HD DVD, dead.
Yeah.
Blu-ray, way for the future, but we all know what's going to happen soon. I mean, the Blu-ray will be the next one that'll die out because then we'll go to a technology memory-based system. You know, memory sticks. I mean, look at memory sticks now. You're getting them 64 gig plus. You'll find stuff like that will be released with games because they're cheap as chips to make.
You'll either get that or you'll get stuff like tiny little XD style frigging cards, something like that. It's going to go back to solid state.
Yeah, I honestly think. I mean, because I've got it here. Well, somewhere I've got it here. Somewhere I've got the. I brought the StarCraft Special Edition box, StarCraft 2. Oh, by the way, guys, Heartless Swarm's out soon. Look for it. Looks good. And I've got the Bill Rayner, James Rayner dog tag USB stick. Yeah. Put it in. It's got It's got StarCraft 1 and 2 Heartless Brood Wars on it, and that's how it'll go. Because you've got USB slots to the front of your machine. Click. It'll go. Would you like to install this game? Well, yes, I would. Good, because I'm not going to do it. No. Why? Why will you not do it? Your USB port has failed. Wanker! and you know that's what it'll do. It'll go back to that. And as you say, solid state. I think
I can see it going to XD cards too.
Well, look at it like this, right? If they can make 64 gig memory card, 64 gig USB dongles and sticks. Yeah. They can make them now. I mean, it's only a small step away to 100, 200, 300 terabytes. It's only a short step away, and when they start doing stuff like that, then you know full well they're going to start releasing games on it.
Hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. You got a Blu-ray disc? Oh, look, I can fit the same storage on my, I don't know, USB stick.
Oh, look at it like this, right? I mean, this
you
is
can fit the same on an XD card. XD cards.
Well, no, this is a good game a good idea for all those companies out there, right? Put your game on a USB stick, pretty it up with some lights or whatever. So, I don't know. I'll take Blizzard as an example. Right, Blizzard is releasing Diablo 15.6, on the USB stick memory card of wonderfulness, right?
Of Doom.
Yeah, of Doom. Yeah, it's shaped like a skull. So you plug it in. You've got this skull that you can plug into your computer.
With flashing red eyes.
Yeah, flashing red eyes. Right, you plug it in. It's got a 120, 130 gig size on the thing. Like the game itself is 40, 50 gig. You plug it in. It goes, would you like to install? You install it. You've got the DRM on the stick, so you can't transfer it once it's on your machine. It saves to the memory stick, so you know your saves are always going to be there. Although, admittedly, when you do lose the game, you're a bit buggered. But then you have the option to transfer it to other copies of the game if you want it. And then you literally walk around. You go to your mate's house. You go, I want to play your Diablo game. Yeah, no problems. I'm going to put my stick in, so my saves are done. Click. Hey, lad. Get some black pudding on table.
Hey, up that bionic.
Yeah. That was you funked that one. But that's it, dude. That's the way it's going to go. Right. Seeing as I have waffled around now for about 25 minutes, bloody hell. You wouldn't believe I just got out of bed, would you, to be perfectly fair?
These waffles tend to get quite long and dragged on.
Yeah, I'm going to go get something to eat in a bit, I think. Right, guys, this is TFB Mighty Clegg telling you to subscribe to our channel, and if you get a chance, get Twitch TV sorted out and watch us streaming, Totally Insane Gamer streaming, and Sir Revsro streaming.
Oh, it's not Sir anymore. I think it's just Revsro.
Oh, he's just gone for Revsro. So I do apologise. He's no longer a Sir. He's obviously been denied.
Yes.
Denied. Detitled. So let's Totally Insane Gamer on Twitch TV and Revsro, spelt REVSO,
on Twitch.
on Twitch TV and CFB Gaming, of course. So this is TFB Mighty Clegg
And St. Wayne 1.
saying thank you for listening, and please, if your ears are bleeding, stick a bit of cotton wool in there. Goodbye. Bye.